Hey y'all, it's Tuesday morning late. I am just stepping out and going to talk about roost. Oh, I have hit my 3 years since I've had my channel. Of course, it started slow. You can tell I'm feeling better because I'm making more videos, and I'm going to try to get them out daily. And I'm going to do a lot more shorter form videos because they seem to do better. But I saw something the other day, and people were arguing about what was the best thing for your birds to roost on. And so I'm getting more and more of my subscribers who are communicating with me and commenting, and I love that, and I'll always comment back at you. So any of you guys who have your own chickens, let me know what your birds like to roost on. I'm going to show you a few of the varieties I have provided my birds, and they all seem to be pretty successful, and my thoughts behind it. So people argue whether it should be a 2x4 or 2x2 or 1x2 or round, or so these two perches typically were in here even when this was I use it for growing out chicks, because that's a low level for them to start, and I would have a lower level and a higher level, maybe a different configuration. So that lower roost are two 1x3s or 1x2s put together, because this is like 1.5. So I cut one end narrow, the end's narrower, and so those two are together to make it wider than 1 inch, but not too big. I seem to love those. Here's part of a perch that's sticking out here, and that is the round pole perch in the coop. So my chickens love to roost on top of the edges of things like this here, and they like to stand there. But for their roost at night, before I got chickens and even after I got them, I always pay attention to what, suggestions and trying and failing of others. Hi Luna. So I do find I prefer wood, but I have found that my chickens, I go from a smaller to medium-sized birds to large, heavy birds. This 2-inch dowel has been perfect. It's natural wood, and of course it comes looking all shiny, but one thing I find with a round poles is I definitely want it to be wood, because you can see all these little nicks here. Don't look at my dirty short nails right now. I've been busy. Oh, they look horrible. But they can get their little toes, help them hold on. So chickens don't have, I don't know if I can show it here really fully, but they don't have I have to curl around something round kind of foot. They have a kind of a flat foot with toes that curl. So I have found that they do like roosting up here, and they can, it's wide enough that they're not totally having to turn their whole foot like this, because that's not comfortable. Chickens don't really walk that way. So here, this one, because I wanted this to be a bit wider as a platform for them to jump up to the higher. So these are just a 2x3 and a 2x2. That is a 1x3, and that is a regular 2x4. They like them all. They seem to have no problem with them. One of their favorite places to perch out here, or roost, or just, girls do it too, is right here. They all like to stand up there. I find a 2x4, especially if it's higher up, kind of freestanding like this, provides them a good flat platform to get their balance and to get settled down. Chickens, I think, really like to have their butt hanging over, just because, like a lot of animals and creatures, they don't want to sit in their own poop if they don't have to. So they do like perching on top of those chairs. They're roosting over here, the pavilion, which is one of the most popular places. Stop it, Cosmo! It's biting my ankles. There's I think it's a 1x3. Yeah, there's a 1x3 and a 2x4. And then the perch in there is all, it's a 2x4. Now, I have, especially when they're smaller, turned the 2x4s on their side, so their little feet are only on the 2-inch side. But age or size, it doesn't really matter. They're going to walk along a board, walk along the rim of something, anything that's going to hold their weight. But for roosting, I think the controversy and all the arguing between folks can end because they roost here. It doesn't really matter to them. As long as their feet fit on it and they get comfortable, and their shirt face. But Laddie will roost up on that metal top of that dolly sometimes. I just try to make sure that they have something that's not super narrow. You know, you want something that's a good at least 1 to 2 inches wide, like at least a 2x4 width. Depth. So you want at least 2 inches so that they can, and I find even with the 2x4s, they will set on it flat-footed, and then they'll bring their toes up around the edge like this. So they're sitting flat, like this part right here is their flat, and then their little toes are just hooked around it, and they seem to be quite comfortable, and they'll rest like that all night. And I have noticed, I've seen Laddie fall off his roost up in the tree. I've seen him fall off a round perch. One thing I feel confident about my I enjoy using 2x4s because I personally just feel like they're less likely to fall off a roost. If they get a little fussy or climbing over each other or being pushy, like one really fat bird wants to roost and squeeze between 2 smaller birds, the 2x4 allows them to step around, step over, and get up there, and the other birds can like scooch over, make room, get shuffled around without being knocked off their roost or their perch. Because there's sometimes one of mine might be just being a wiggle worm and trying to squeeze in and find the right place they want to roost for the night, and 2 of the others are sleeping and don't even really wake up or pay much attention to the wiggle worm. So here's Laddie. Laddie, he's been biting my ankles. Get him. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything for Mama. So today I'm getting ready to go back in, have a drink and a chill, and then I'm going to come out here and rake all this straw here in a pile. I'm going to bring this water bowl out here, maybe just as another large watering bowl for the cat. And all the ferals that won't come around. So I'm going to rake all this straw here to this corner. That's a low spot, and let it just compost there. You can tell back there that they've been respreading a lot of what I piled up. The pile was, quite tall. Dust bathing. And that over there is Miss Daisy off the nest box. She's been getting off a lot more today, and she's been out here to nest. The Brahmas sometimes can be bullies, which is rare for their breed, but they are just so big. But if you saw anything on my other dust bathing video, if they think that their sister or their pal has got a better hole, or their hole is fluffy or tasty or dusty or whatever chickens use to rate their dust bathing holes, they like to steal them from each other. But this is the first time I've seen her dust bathing in eons. Her comb is darker than it was. I think part of the paleness was she wasn't out in the sun. She was eating and drinking, but she's eating and drinking more. She's getting out more, so I think this brooding is breaking. I was thinking about, gathering a couple of the green eggs because I know they're Easter eggers. And he's an Easter egger, so any of the eggs are going to be fertilized by an Easter egger. And there he is. And stuffing. I thought since it's warmer weather, I would stuff a couple eggs under her. That way it's warmer, so if she did get off the nest a little bit longer to come out and do things, they weren't getting cold so quick. So before, when she's being super broody, she only had to be off the nest a few moments, and he just ate one of her feathers. Okay, whatever. One of her feathers came out while dusting or loose, and he plucked it the rest of the way and ate it. Talk about bonding with your ladies. But that way the egg wouldn't go cold so fast, because before she would just be off the nest for a minute or two. Y'all be nice. She's at the very bottom of the totem pole because she went broody. I always say the totem pole, but she's the bottom of the pecking order. When the hen goes broody and she's not like doing the 24/7 social and in her group, she will fall a few rungs on the little ladder, the pecking order ladder. But it's good to see her out here. But like I had said, if she continues to be broody, I might put a couple eggs in there, because I know now it's warming up enough that if she's off the nest for 5-10 minutes, they're not going to become ice cold instantly like they were. So she took that nest from Zin Zin, who's right there behind her. I made a video about that. She went in there, pecked Zin Zin on the head, made Zin Zin get out of the favorite nest box, and she got in there to sit, but there was nothing to sit on. So anyway, it's just good to see her back out. But back to roosting. So it's really what you prefer, what you have. Don't go out and think you have to get all fancy. Some people just use wooden, a lot of people just use wooden sawhorses, because it's a 2x4 across the top. So for me personally, I think the 2-inch round pole and the 2x4 is the best bet for purchase. Now they love that 1x3, but it's only an inch shorter than inch shorter in width than the 2x4. So I have never seen any of them have any issues or problems with roosting flat-footed. And just watching them walk and the way they stand, I don't think they would be comfortable and rest as well if they constantly had to have a round foot and constantly gripping. They can really, to me, just watching them sleep and watching them when they're relaxed and they're on their roost, I think the 2x4 has been wonderful. So anyway, you guys let me know what you guys think and feel and what you use for roosting bars. Bye.